What's up, family? We are back with episode 2. First of all, can we just have a moment? Can we just pause and acknowledge the fact that I am being consistent with episode 2? Please excuse my cough. I was sick a couple weeks ago. And we're just recovering. So, we are in, I guess, the season and time of Valentine's Day. Aww. It's all about love. It's all about relationships. It's all about celebrating the person that you love and loving yourself, and really what love is all about. And today's episode is not so much about love or hating and bashing Valentine's Day or celebrating it, because, either you're bashing it because you ain't got nobody, or you bashing it because you say, I show love to my person every day, a whole bunch of excuses. But today I wanted to talk about boundaries. When I think about Valentine's Day, when I think about dating, I think about how difficult it is to date. And I first want to acknowledge everyone that is in healthy, thriving relationships. I want to say congratulations to you. Keep up the good work. If you were thinking about getting out of one to be a hot boy or a hot girl or to be single, trust me, it is a gift from God when you have found someone that loves you for you, that is willing to do everything they can to make you happy. And to the single ones, let's keep on trying to find that person that God has made specifically for you. Yeah! But one thing I found out in my 30s, dating and being in relationships, and people are probably going to ask, what is your current relationship status? And I will share it with you shortly. But one thing I have found out, that dating gets harder the older that you get. Okay, it does not get any easier trying to find someone the older you get. Now, some people may disagree with me, but I'm talking about my current position at the current age that I'm at. In my mid-30s, I find it difficult to find consistency in dating and relationships. And the one thing I want to talk about today is when you're in a relationship or you found someone that you love. Now, I'm not an expert, but this is what's working for me. I find out that you need to set clear boundaries. One of the mistakes that I have been finding myself doing over and over in relationships and dating people is not setting clear boundaries and clear expectations. I feel like when I begin to like somebody and we begin to vibe, we don't set clear expectations, or we have expectations that we have not clearly vocalized to the person that we're dating. I was talking to one of my good friends, and I'm not going to tell all the business, but they're dating someone, and a situation came up where they found out that this person is still talking to other people. And, they called me and I was like, listen. They were ready to let that person go. How could they? And the first question I asked is, have you ever had the conversation about dating other people? A lot of times I find out that when we like someone, we set these expectations. I'm not going to talk to nobody else. I'm not going to do anything with nobody else. But we have not clearly vocalized that expectation to someone else, to the person that we're dating. So a lot of times you're in a relationship and you're expecting these things that the other person has no idea that they have to live up to, or what the current rules are. Can I get an amen? If I know I can't hear you, but if you've been in that situation before where you've liked someone, you've dated someone, and you found out that they're talking to other people, you're ready to immediately cut it off. But the question I have for you is, have you set that expectation? Have you told them, listen, I don't want you talking to nobody else right now. You and I are dating each other. I'm feeling you. I think we should talk exclusively. And I'm not here to have that argument about what's the difference between dating and exclusively. Right now, where we're at, I don't want you talking to nobody else. I don't want to talk to nobody else. I want to focus on you. My question to you is, as you're dating, as you're dealing with these people, have you had that conversation?
Oh my God, that's a very good question.
So, no matter what ship you find yourself in, relationship, friendship, situationship, confusing ship, on the low ship, somebody else's ship, friendships, just plain old friendships. You must communicate your expectation, but you also must have boundaries. And boundaries and expectations are two separate things. See, expectations give no property lines to other people. Expectations are simply voicing your unmet desires or the state of hoping that things will change or people will do something according to what you want. But boundaries are a lot different. Not only that, boundaries are less restricting. Expectations kind of are restricting, but boundaries are less restricting, and they allow space for different outcomes, which would lead to less disappointment. One of the difference between boundaries and expectations is boundaries keep us safe. Again, I said before, expectations give no property lines, but boundaries really do keep us safe. So I read somewhere that the reason why boundaries lead to less disappointment is because boundaries take into account different factors such as perspective, situations, and other challenges. Now, I also read somewhere there are 5 types of boundaries for your relationship. There are physical boundaries, there are emotional boundaries, sexual boundaries, ooh la la, intellectual boundaries, and financial boundaries. I also read somewhere that boundaries refer to limits that you put in place to protect your well-being. When boundaries are clearly communicated along with the consequences for breaking them, your partner understands your expectations. So in order to have expectations, you must have boundaries. When boundaries are clearly communicated along with the consequences for breaking them, your partner understands your expectations. So now that we read that, should we set the boundaries first, or should we communicate our expectations, or do both? So at this point of the podcast, again, I cannot see you. I would like you to put in the comments what you think is more important. Should you communicate your boundaries first, or should you communicate your expectations? I know we started the conversation talking about expectations and communicating them, but now after we read that boundaries refer to limits that you put in place to protect your well-being, when boundaries are clearly communicated along with the consequences for breaking them, your partner understands your expectations. So this is part of the podcast, I guess, that you're not used to because you're just used to listening to other people tell you what to do. This is when I want to hear feedback from you. So in the comments, whether you're watching on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, wherever, you can text me. And what I'll be doing for the rest of the week is I'll be posting some of the comments so we can talk about it. What is important, and name some of your boundaries and some of your expectations. I look forward to hearing to you. So guess what? My name is Ernest, and you have been Waking Up with E. Listen, go out in life and take some action. Take some action in your relationships by setting boundaries. Amen. Amen.